Hello and welcome everybody back to Neogen Esports. It's been a minute, but I am Poppy and I've got my co-caster here, Hot Muffins, with me tonight. Muffins, how you doing?
I'm super excited, honestly. It's been a couple weeks for me too. I was here week one, but excited to be back. Excited for some good games here. We're getting late into the season, things are heating up, and I'm excited to see our boys play.
Yeah, this is the last week. Actually, this is week 7. We're coming off of a win from last week. For anybody that might not be aware, Neogen took down the Purple Pirates last week, and now we are about to fight the Karate Kids. We're gonna see how this one goes tonight. I think it's gonna be action packed and a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we're playing on the new patch. Is that right? So maybe we should walk through a couple of the things that have changed with the patch. Because last time we were on the Noxus map with previously we had two grub spawns. We had differences in dragon and grub spawn timers. And also we didn't have the AP item changes. So I think we're in for a little bit of a shakeup with the meta. Probably a little bit of a difference in team comps, but we've got big AP item changes coming all the way through pretty much the entire mage lineup. Assassins, control mages, long range mages, etc. And then we've also got only one grub spawn now that spawns after first dragon. So we'll see how that is going to change things. But I don't know, Poppy. What are your predictions? What do we think about how that's going to change things?
Yeah, I think the big thing I'm looking for right now is these big AP item changes. We've seen a lot of shift in the power of certain items. I'm really excited to see how that shakes it up in the mid lane. There's been a couple of weeks now on the grub changes, so we'll see how these teams adapted and how they're going to implement some of these new item shifts, primarily in that mid lane. And as you can see, it looks like the drafting is getting underway now. We have the side of Neogen has taken out the Anivia, the Victor. Looks like they're really prioritizing these mid lane champions and trying to thin that pool, while the Karate Kids are going again for some anti tank picks on the Gwen and then targeting a bit of that bot lane with the Caitlyn and the Senna.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. I mean, you saw that the Karate Kids were hovering Zoe there for a second for a ban. Zoe has actually been one of the mages that has had some of the biggest change in success rate and win rate in the mid lane due to some of the item changes as well as getting a buff. So they may be looking to kind of start to ban out some of these mid laners as well. Karate Kids come in with an Aphelios pick one here, locking in their bot side for this hyper carry Aphelios. Kind of hard to pilot. If he gets behind, it's going to be a little tough. Let's see how Neogen responds here. They've mostly banned out mid and jungle so far, so let's see what they're going to prioritize.
Yeah, taking the Zins out from themselves, really, Prophet, a big character that he uses as the Zin, but he answers with a Vi. I mean, that point and click lockdown onto the Aphelios is incredibly strong. It allows a
Mm-hmm.
lot of follow up to take in a mobile and squishy 80 carry and really make their life pretty hard. So, and that's coupled with a Varus who can fire those chains of corruption right behind the Vi. I like these first two picks, really good power picks coming out from the side of Neogen right off the rip.
Yeah, it looks like they're really going for this hard pick comp, right? You just point and click with the Verisol, point and click with the Viol. You just charge up your arrow, get your 3 stacks of Blight on there, and kaboom, they go bye-bye. Especially if that Varus gets ahead, goes the lethality build, those Qs are going to really chunk them out. So, and an Ivern pick in the jungle.
Mm.
I've seen Ivern being played a lot actually in some higher tiers of play. I was watching Los Ratones actually this morning, and they were playing against a team that had picked an Ivern as this like enchanter jungle to pocket a Yone mid. That went super successful, beat up on the Los Ratones. So it'll be interesting to see what they pair up with this Ivern. A Karma too, so a
Ooh,
double enchanter.
this is a lot of shielding. They're putting a lot of eggs into this Aphelios basket. They're saying, okay, your Vi can jump in, but are you going to be able to burst me down? This is an interesting pick, and it really shows where they're trying to put their priority.
Yeah, I'm curious though because if that like they're I mean we know already from this draft, right? That they're putting all of their effort into bot lane because if that Aphelios is not ahead when they leave lane, there's just no shot that they win this game. They won't have the damage from the jungle. I think that unless they pick one of these high impact mages in mid, they're really gonna have to focus the bot lane. And Varus is a reasonably safe laner. So really all they have to do on the Neogen side is survive. But you can see we've already banned out Syndra as well. That's the third, and now a Vex. I mean, they are completely banning out this mid lane.
Yeah, with the Hui being picked up in the mid for Vuso, presumably, this is a good pick here to go ahead and try to limit a bit of that mid lane champ pool on the side of Karate Kids. I like what they're doing here.
Corel ban, hovering the Thresh.
What's it going to be? Is it the
Yeah,
Thresh,
interesting.
the Irelia? An Irelia ban against Cuddle in the top side. They definitely don't want to let him have a hyper carry top laner, but they didn't ban the Urgot, which I think is pretty surprising. But Neogen decides to pick up the Morgana potentially for support here.
I mean, I would love to see
Or, oh,
Morgana. Okay, Blitzcrank. That's actually, I mean, this is huge pick potential.
I like this blitz pick here. I think this could be really, really good. It takes a lot of that safe play from Karate Kids and pulls it out of the window if you get a good hook. But they opt for something a little more tried and true. That Leona lockdown, really annoying, super tanky, lots of CC. How can you go wrong?
Yeah, Fizz is another one that has been incredibly has incredibly benefited from these API item changes, but they're actually going to swap over to they're hovering Auction, they're hovering Azir, now they're hovering Mel.
Mel is going to be the final pick on this one, it looks like. So, again, a lot of zone control and just trying to play a front to back fight, keep them up with the shields, keep them at bay with the roots. It's an interesting comp that Karate Kids is going for here, and we'll see what they're going to round out this comp with. Is it going to be the Yasuo top potentially, or Fiora? I'm not sure. I feel like I understand somewhat what Karate Kids is going for, but I'm not sure if it's the right picks, and that's a Kled coming out into the top side. You don't see too much of that, do you, Muffin?
No, and to be honest, I'm not really a fan of the Kled pick. There's really no front line here whatsoever for Karate Kids to protect this Aphelios. I mean, they are really basically putting all their efforts into making sure that that Aphelios lives. And I don't know. I don't know if Ivern and Karma will be enough to save the Aphelios into the Gnar jumps in, throws him into a wall. Leona, chain CC. Hui, a chain CC. Varus, chain CC. I mean, the amount of crowd control options that Neogen has to just pull the trigger onto this Aphelios is immense. And I just don't know if one Karma shield and an Iron shield is going to really save him.
Yeah, it's this is definitely an interesting move here for the Kled pick. I really think this is one that just deserves some dissection. I mean,
Fine.
Gnar into Kled, Gnar I feel like has a lot easier of a time with the ability to peel
Shall I
off
turn
that
in my
Kled,
badge and rifle
play
as
the
well?
range game. You can keep him at bay a little bit. If the Kled does get ahead, maybe there is some kind of road for
Fine.
Karate
I
Kids
don't
to
need more enemies.
scale out with that and use him as that engage, but it's an awkward comp. I think you're almost trying to do two different things here. Karate Kids is trying to play a 1-4 in a way, right? You have the Khaled who's going to just sit on that side lane and needs to dominate the lane while the rest of the team has to win in that protection game, keeping the Aphelios alive. But Neogen just has so many tools to be able to stop this Aphelios and to blow him up. Think of all this chain CC and all the chain abilities, right, Muffins? I mean, you've got a Vi ult, Varus ult, Hui is going to dump his combo, Leona, and they're all just held in place just for them to rain hell. I really, really like what Neogen's going for.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. The only way out
They fear
for
what they cannot
Karate Kids here, the
withstand.
Kled has to get majorly ahead early and then completely control the mid game to give the Aphelios enough time to actually make it to 30 minutes. The Aphelios is going to have to make it to 3 items before he's going to be able to chop through Neogen quick enough or survive long enough with some tools from the Ivern and the Karma. And I agree with you. I mean, all Neogen has to do is just force the Aphelios to show up to fights that he doesn't want to by pushing early objectives and just keeping the Kled in check, and they win the game, I think, by dragon stacking here. You just win the objectives, you win the macro game, you force the Aphelios to get out of his lane or concede his objectives and his towers.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of a big draft gap that came out here at the side of Neogen. I mean, it looks good if they play the macro well. I don't see an avenue where Karate Kids has an easy game to win. They have a hard game to pilot for the most part. I mean, historically right now, Mel not the greatest in the mid lane has really struggled ever since kind of getting gutted a couple patches ago. Hui has been on the rise again, so a really great pickup there artillery mage who can win from half a screen away. So again, I really want to put a highlight onto this mid lane matchup tonight. I think with these new item changes coming out, you could really see some huge impact from the mid side of the map.
Would you call that, Poppy, the Taco Bell match to watch for game one here? Not sponsored
Yep.
by Taco Bell, but we'd be happy to
Yeah,
if
the
Taco
Taco Bell
Bell's
not
watching.
sponsored by Taco Bell.
Yeah, a mid game or a game or matchup to watch for this game one is the Vuso versus Papa Doge.
Yeah, I think so. I think we definitely want to look towards here. I think if we see Vuso get a huge lead, it could be devastating for the side of Karate Kids. Vuso's shown really good performance all these weeks, honestly, throughout the entirety of Blue Otter League. And
Yeah.
it's been good to see. He's been a really staple backbone of the team, even in some of their losses when things look dire. Vuso's kept them alive. I know a couple weeks ago we saw multiple great Lux lasers and plays and just a lot of clutch fights that Vuso was able to really turn the tide on. So I'm looking towards the mid lane here. I think we're going to see some really good play. I think it's also eyes need to be a little bit on profit. The Vi, this is the big playmaker on the team. I'm interested to see how he and Band are able to link up and put a lot of pressure on this Ivern jungle. I think that could be another focal point to look out for especially early in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I was just thinking when you were talking about Vuso and his Lux, if I'm not mistaken, in our first stream in, I suppose that was what, week 3, week 4, did he not steal an Elder Dragon with his laser? I believe he did. I
I
think
think
I would
so.
actually, if my memory serves me, he stole an Elder that actually was able to win them the game, or at least that match, with his laser on the Lux. Definitely was an MVP, I think, of that series in particular from my memory, and as you said, has continued to perform. Stole Baron with his Lux ult as well. Remy says in
Thank
the
you, chat.
chat. Yeah, it's been a pretty incredible performance from Vuso. Some really high impact plays. Super confident in his abilities to make things happen across the map.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be really good to see just from the side of Neogen. I think the whole team in general has really shown a ton of improvement over the course of these 7 weeks. This is the last week of Blue Otter League. Unfortunately, Neogen didn't win enough games early to be able to qualify for
Mhm.
playoffs. But this is a great way to end on a high note. There have been victories. We're coming off the back of a win against the Purple Pirates last week. So spirits are high, and this is a great game just to be able to put it away and say, hey, you know what? We did a really good job. This was a great stepping stone. And the nice thing is, here in about 2 weeks, we're going to be kicking off another season. The boys are going to be joining Titan League. So there's going to be a whole nother season about to start. So much content to come. Super exciting. And it's a great segue. Look below. You can catch us on a bunch of different socials. You can find us right here on Twitch. We've got a TikTok, we've got a YouTube. Please subscribe and follow us for more amazing Neogen Esports content. And we're about to get into this game, Muffins. I don't know about you, but I cannot wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's my Friday. I'm sitting here chilling with the sun going down. It's been a great week for me, and sounds like it's been a good week for the boys, and it's going to be a good Thursday night. Good way to kick off a weekend with some solid competitive league. I'm just super excited. I'm ready to see what unfolds here. Ready to see these early fights. I think it's going to be some pretty exciting gameplay. Hopefully from both teams. I think. Do you know what the Karate Kids record is, perchance?
I actually don't, right offhand, I'm not 100% certain. Um, no. If maybe production or if the chat knows, please feel free to throw that one out there. These no good casters don't have all the information. We apologize. We don't know how good the Karate Kids are, but that's a bit of mystery that might really be useful. Maybe they are just incredible, and Neogen comes back and destroys them. Maybe they're not so good, and we wipe the floor with them anyways. Who knows?
Let's see what I can find here. I'm on Blue Water League here. Let's see.
I will say one thing though, Muffins, you were painting a beautiful picture for me before this game was about to start. You said, "It's my Friday. I'm sitting here. The sun's going down. Competitive league is on the screen." I mean, I felt like we were in a Van Gogh painting for a second. It was really, really nice. And and here, speaking of a painting, look at that beautiful new map. Oh, every time I see it open up, it looks so good. We are about to get into game. Let us go. Neogen. Neogen in the chat. Anybody, come on.
Thank you, Remy. 2 and 3, same as us in the standings. Yes, I do see that. I also have had it pulled up. Yeah, it does look like they're the same record. So we've got a little bit of a clash of kind of like the consolation of the best of the rest, if you will, the best of the teams that didn't necessarily make it to the playoffs. We've got a huge 5-man invade on the top side. Cuddle does spot it. Oh, they flash anyway. It's a flash for a flash, and he gets to walk out with his life. Unfortunately, doesn't have his flash anymore. Trades flash with the Ivern. Otherwise, nothing to be seen.
Interesting to see, though. I wonder what Neogen's going to be able to do to punish. This brings up that point I was talking about earlier. I want to see what Profit and Band can do and how they can link up into trying to punish this Ivern. Ivern notoriously wants to get an early lead with an early steal or, whatever, just the way his kit works, being able to suck those camps and take them from someone else. He's a bit on the back foot and starting a little more traditional now because of the missed invade and now has no flash. I'm really interested to see what they can make happen.
Yeah, and thankfully, Neogen was able to capitalize on that invade and the Karate Kids having to back after that failed invade, and you can see that there's two deep wards on the blue and on the red side of the map. They're able to spot out the Ivern, immediately skipping all of his camps to go straight to his red. They've got a lot of good information on this Ivern. They know where he's, excuse me, they know where he's at. They know where he's headed to, and we're hoping to see some good safe play from the Neogen boys to stick away from that Ivern.
Yeah, now looks like Ivern is going up to. Is he cross mapping again? He's just going to go try to pick up those camps that he left behind. There was some light trading towards the mid and the bot side to be expected a bit. A lot of pokey champs with the Karma, and you got the Varus on Neogen. So you're definitely going to see a good bit of trading and just trying to win over a bit of that wave control. A nice E coming out from Buso there to suck the Mel back in and to get a little bit of damage.
Yeah, not a lot going right now. These are some pretty safe lanes. They're wanting to trade. They're wanting to set up their wave state to be ready for these objectives. We're at almost 3 minutes in. As a reminder, we're on a new patch. We have different spawn timers. So Dragon is actually going to spawn first at 5 minutes. Grubs are going to spawn after that. I think it's at 6.5 minutes now, 7 minutes. It's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes after. So we're going to be playing strong towards this bot side. And remember, this is what we were talking about before. The Aphelios wants to stay in lane and farm. He wants to soak the XP, soak the farm. Wait a second here. We've got Kled going in on a trade on Cuddle. Really good trade for the Karate Kids, but Cuddle is able to pop him off of Scrap there. Scrag?
But
Scrap? I forget what
Watch
his
out
name
now.
is.
There is a bit of a fight going into the bot lane. The Ivern found his way into the bush, and he's going on to ban, trying to get the lockdown and the damage, but will they have it? Karma with the root down, and the Aphelios just trying to get the first blood, which he successfully gets, but it's not over yet. Vi coming in on the flank. Vars trying to find the kills onto the Aphelios, but that shield is incredible. A flash forward by Prophet to try to find some damage. He needs one more auto on 2 of these characters. Can he find the kill? That's a good route from the side of Karate Kids, but it is turning to a bit of a disaster down in the bot side. Prophet trying desperately to get this kill, but it ends up being a 2-for-1 on the side of Karate Kids coming out the better.
Yeah, this was a really unfortunate fight for Neogen. That's kind of the worst that they could expect right there. The kill goes over to two kills go over to the Aphelios. They have a super long extended fight. This is now letting a wave crash into the tower that Paxax is hopefully going to be able to catch. He is going to be able to catch. But otherwise, 2 kills going over to the Aphelios. That's really, really unfortunate for Neogen. But we do have Prophet going in on mid. Gets the flash out of the Vel, but he does get rooted back on the Ivern. The Ivern is there to make a play. Oh, I hope that he can get out. He's got the... He had the Q on the Mel, but it was just too little too late.
Yeah, but Bavuso finds a return kill onto Ivern there. Ivern overextends, just stays just too long. And we do find a little bit of grace in the mid there. Interesting play, a little bit difficult right now. There's been a lot of good counter ganking going on from that Ivern on the side of Karate Kids.
Absolutely. I mean, the Ivern stayed long, and he unfortunately for Neogen made it work. He was able to show up to mid and help with that counter gank, and that's really going to set Neogen back. This is kind of exactly what we didn't need to happen, right? I mean, look at the Aphelios. He backs on these 2 kills. He's got a BF sword up on 2 long swords to Paxax. That is going to really hurt.
Yeah, that's a difficult one to deal with, and you're seeing some heavy trading into the top side here. This Kled is really just honestly making Cuddle bleed a little bit. Thankfully, though, that ranged matchup, Cuddle is able to have a 18 CS lead, which is quite large onto that Kled. So there's definitely some a saving grace in the top side right now.
Yeah, I think Cuddle is trying to do his best to out sustain and beat this Kled in lane. That is their best chance at controlling the mid game. And he is. It looks like he's losing due to these trades, but the longer he can stay in lane and farm up, the better things are going to be for him.
Mhm. Oh, and he might look for an all-in here. That Kled is small. He gets the wallop down and the ult
It's a
back with a Q.
huge wombo.
Oh, what a great kill onto that Kled. This is going to be huge for Cuddle, being able to take over that top lane and being such a menace in this game.
Yeah, I think this is the best way out for Neogen. Bot lane is in a pretty tough spot already with that early skirmish. The Ivern setting things up. But, ooh, Band Director once in. He unfortunately swings and misses with the Hex Flash. Otherwise, I think that was a pretty well set up gank. They had no idea that Prophet was there. Wow, the burst coming out from that bell. That was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, that one hurt a little bit. You could tell Vuso's probably wincing a tad after getting hit by that one. Um, yeah, I mean it's a difficult plays around the map. The farm is definitely skewed more towards Neogen and this pressure getting this first dragon, but there's definitely some big kills and some accelerated gold on so honestly 2 of the characters you really just don't want to have it. The Mel and this Aphelios a little bit accelerated on the side of Karate.
Yeah, this is exactly what Karate Kids wanted. This is absolutely what they wanted. They're setting this up, and now all they need to do, they did have to back after those kills, and so they give up the first dragon to Neogen, which is great. But they want these carries set up so that they can contest the objectives. Ivern sends out Daisy, trying to catch out Prophet, blocks his Q over the wall. They really want this.
And they're
He hits
finding
the
it
root.
though, and
They
another root
get the
caller.
engage.
Oh no! Oh no! Vi goes
Wow.
down.
I mean, this
Oh.
Mel is everywhere right now. 3 kills picked up on the Mel. Absolutely just not what Neogen wants.
And this Ivern's still sticking around with Daisy, putting some pressure onto the bot side. It's really quite difficult to deal with. Haxax, though,
Oh,
trying to find some damage back, and he finds it onto the Aphelios.
oh,
A great Zenith Blade onto the Ivern. Will it be enough to put him down? Band
yes,
wants
it
it,
is.
and that Aftershock proc is going to take the cake, but he's going to find it now with another Zenith Blade. And that is a great cue coming in from Paxax to find some more damage onto the Karma. Karma running for her life, but can she get away from this? It looks like she's just barely going to limp out of there.
She had to flash. She had to flash that last Q from Paxac. Otherwise, that was a double for him. That is a great find, a great pickup for Neogen there. It was a massive ult from Band Director to land on the Aphelios there to find the kill for Paxax. That is great pickup. And all this while, we go back up to the top lane. Cuddle's picking up another solo kill. I mean, he is just on a tear right now against this Kled.
71 farm, 2-1, looking really solid in the top side. Huge lead coming out from there, and really a lot of good plays towards the bottom, like you were saying. Exactly what Neogen needs right now. And now you see Prophet going straight in. He hits him with that seasoned assist, and he's trying to put the damage on to that Ivern, who falls back into the ult from Vuso and goes down right there. An interesting play that root was maybe not expected or anticipated by Duolingo Owl.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a miscommunication. Prophet goes in with the assault and battery, and then sends the Ivern backwards with the punch. But I don't think Band Director was expecting that. He swung a little wide with the Zenith Blade there, but ultimately they get the pickup. I don't think it was exactly the trade they were looking for, going 1-1 there. But all things considered, another great kill on the Ivern to shut him down, keep him out of his jungle, and set up Cuddle for an insanely strong top side.
Yeah, it's definitely looking good towards the top side of the map. Neogen, you're seeing the gold lead here is pretty negligible right now. It's quite an even game. 7 kills to 7 kills. A 200 gold lead for Neogen. Close match. Close match we have in our hands.
Yeah, this is one of those where I'm not really sure. I think it's kind of a stalemate right now. I don't think you could really call it one way or the other. I think we're gonna have to wait for this next objective fight to see if there's gonna be a little bit of a swing one way or the other. The Neogen really evened things out with those two plays in the bot lane and on the top side of the map. I think what they've got to do is try to set their vision up, set their waves up, really make sure that they've got themselves prepared for this objective that's going to spawn.
Yeah, and you're seeing another engage towards the top side. Kled firing the Q onto the Gnar to pull him back, trying to get those autos down. But Cuddle's just playing that range game and using those 3 procs to activate that extra move speed. And Ivern trying to be a sneaky boy again, looking into the bot side.
He is going to get spotted out on this ward, though. He was a little suspicious. He goes ahead and scans it, sees that he is spotted, so he's just going to stick in the bush, kind of set up a recall, hang out, protect his bot lane. But yeah, good ward there from Neogen to pick up that Ivern lane gank. They fortunately were not fools after the first time and said, "You're not gonna catch me on that one again."
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me again. Well, I ain't gonna be fooled again. That's what J. Cole had in his song, right? So we know that we know that Neogen has definitely listened to that, and that's what they're doing, and they're putting those words to practice in the bot side. The Ivern spending a lot of time in that bot lane, as we were talking about. He is really camping that Aphelios, trying to give a bunch of resources to that bot lane to make sure that they win.
This is a bit of a tough spot. Papa Doge on the Karate Kids, on the Mel, got to back, refilled his mana, picked up the Archangel's completed item, and he's going to be ready for this dragon fight. Vuso, no mana. He hasn't backed yet for an item, but it didn't even matter. The Leona said, I see a Karma, I press R, and there's no more Karma anymore. Prophet's going in on the back line. He finds an amazing assault and battery on the Mel. Zenith Blade follow-up. It's a big stun, but the Daisy is there to stop it. Can they get it on the other side on the Dragon Pit? Vuso and Paxax find a kill on the Ivern. He's still alive somehow. I mean, Poppy, tell me what's going on here. What is going on? Where did this come from?
This is a oh, what a smackdown there on the side of Neogen. Vuso had a really nice W or QW there to find the long range kill, but what a hard fight to even really keep a track of. I mean, there was two fights taking place. You had Vi and Band had jumped in onto the back line to try to kill this Ivern and Mel, but on the other side, you're just seeing a fight taking place in the pit as well, and a little disjointed, but I guess Neogen comes out the benefactor on that one.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't even have enough time to even talk about the analysis because we're setting back up for another dragon fight again. Everybody's rushing right back to it. We're trying to gain control of the vision. We do get it.
Yeah.
Miscue from the Ivern. Yeah, I mean, the fortunate thing for Neogen is I was just talking about how we were in this unfortunate situation, and I forgot about the skill differential that is Vuso to Papa Doge. He walks in with 20% mana and not a completed item and walks out 3 kills richer. They find an amazing pickup on the Ivern again. The Assault and Battery followed up with the chains by the Varus. It's a huge engage again from Band Director.
And it looks like the Karate Kids are running for their lives as Cuddle has shown up on the back end of this TP, and he is running them down. He's putting that lead to work, and he just smacks him into the wall and says, "You are my dinner." Oh, man,
Yeah,
a
I mean,
good
this is
pickup.
incredible from Neogen. They are doing exactly what they need to with this team comp. They see the Ivern walk a couple pixels too close. They pull the trigger. They press all their R buttons, and just like that, they have a one-team fight. I mean, look at this Ivern. He's 1-6. He's got 71 CS to Prophet's 85. He's just not really done a whole lot since that early gank, and he's about to get caught again. Look at this. Prophet is in again with the Assault and Battery on the Ivern. They pick him again. I mean, it's their jungle. It's their jungle, and they're just living in it.
Do you see that item? I don't want to sound too rude here, but Lichbane? Lichbane on Ivern right now? Come on.
Yeah,
I
I don't
mean,
know
is
about
that,
that.
I don't think that is the move at all here. And I think the 1-7 stat line is making that very valid.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I was trying to think of something like, oh, maybe he's doing some sort of new Korean build or something, using the bushes for empowered auto attacks. But there's just no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You're playing in a competitive 5v5 team league. You need to
oh,
support your Aphelios, and the Mel walks up. Look, this is exactly what we talked about that Neogen needed to do. They walk onto their screen, they press their R buttons, and it's a pick.
yeah, there's so much damage that comes out. If just one bit of that CC hits, you see all that follow-up damage. They're just able to rain hell with this artillery from Vuso and Paxax. Really great move towards the mid lane there. And now it looks like they're trying to chase down this Kled who's caught behind enemy lines. Will he be able to get away here? It doesn't look like it. The Zenith blade does connect, and he's been dismounted. The Karma is there to try to find some help, but there's not enough shielding, and Paxax is looking for more blood here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Karma just basically nearly gave herself up for a second helping there to feed the pack sacks. I'll be honest, Poppy, there's really not a lot else that's going to go on this game, I think. We've got Vuso now 9-1 with a 700 gold bounty. He's 2 completed items. I mean, just 5 minutes ago, he was 1-2. Or I'm sorry, 1-1.
Yeah, this
And
game has
now
taken quite the turn.
Cuddle is just 1v2ing down in the bot
Oh,
lane, but the Mel does find the kill. Cuddle doesn't have any MR. Makes some sense.
yeah, but they're going to take a Herald on the top side for it. I would almost beg to say it was worth, as long as they don't get a power bottom. Really didn't matter too much. Now, again, Neogen just has complete dominance on these objectives, and they're making it show. And now Vuso's taking the teleport, and oh wait, look here, Change of Corruption lands onto the Karma. Look at that damage, that burst from
Oh
that fully stacked
my.
Q. Oh, oh, but Vuso does find himself on the reciprocated end of a another route, and they're finding some magic in the bot side for Karate Kids, but will it be enough?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think there's too many damage threats on Neogen, plus their ability to catch. I mean, it's gonna all it takes is
Ooh.
one piece of CC. Though Paxax gets a little ambitious with his health bar, thinking he could 2v1 the top laner and bot laner of Karate Kids. It was a little too ambitious, I think, though.
Yeah, yeah. I
They
think they still need to play it safe to some extent. It's, right, and they might have a lead, but getting caught in these side lane picks and taking fights that you may not have all the damage you need. It just gives the other side an avenue to get back. But I think right now Neo's still looking like they're in a great spot.
definitely. They did unfortunately give over 1,000 gold shutdown to the Mel from Vuso. However, Cuddle is there. He's gonna try to make it worth the Rift Herald engage from Prophet. It's crazy. Prophet's
Now
there to pick
that
it up.
is awesome. That was
The,
awesome.
the assault and battery onto the Ivern. He gets the kill. It's a huge pickup. Wait, the shields from Ivern are crazy. It's the Lich Bane.
I'm just loving the drift tech. The drift king here. Prophet himself came riding the herald in the battle like it was his trusty steed. You're not Kled. You don't have a steed, Prophet. But he said, nope, I've got a herald and it's way better. That was
I've got
beautiful.
Shelly.
I've got Shelly. And now they're looking to put the pressure onto this bot lane tier 2. But on the other side of the map, keep an eye. Kled is getting some resources back in the top side. He's pushing the tier 2 against Neogen, but thankfully Cuddle's going to be answering that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're funneling a little gold into this club, but he's so far behind. I just don't know if there's a, well, he does get the bounty gold there. I didn't realize it was a bounty turret. That's definitely going to help him get back in it, but I just don't know if it's quite enough. I don't know if it's quite enough. I think Neogen needs to just play this game for the objectives now. They've certainly gotten the lead that they need. Now they play the vision, they play the objectives, find the picks with their ults, and walk this game out.
Yeah, and you're seeing it here, just like you said. They're trying to take this Atacon, and Dragon's going to be spawning pretty shortly after, so they're going to be able to transition this into potentially just a double objective take. It doesn't look like Karate Kids are even aware this is happening or even attempting to find any kind of vision or avenue to these objectives. So this is just a huge win for Neogen right now on the map.
Yeah, they get the Atacon for free, and Karate Kids weren't even aware, so they couldn't even set up a cross map here. And so now Neogen's actually going to get a free back off. They're going to cash in their gold, and they're going to be able to show up for this dragon fight even stronger than before. And they still already have great wave states and great vision control in that bot side of the map. Look at those deep wards going all the way. They're going to spot the Mel out immediately. I mean, this is exactly what they want.
Yeah, they're in a really good spot here. A lot of control in that area. But you see Karate Kids is trying to force their way in now. The Kled has been pulled down. They really don't want to let them go to Soul Point here. And I think we're going to see another skirmish.
Absolutely. We might even see a 5v5. Cuddle is going to try to shove in this top tower, shove in this top wave one more time, create a little bit of pressure, create a little bit of urgency from the side of Karate Kids to try to take a fight that they don't want to. Cuddle doesn't. Does he have TP? He does have TP, so he can show up for this fight. But Karate Kids are just going to take the quick dragon. They get the control, and they're going to take their bounty gold and walk out.
Neogen says, though, that's fine. We're just going to take your towers in retaliation. And 2 tier 2s go down in the top and the mid lane. A nice answer back from the side of Neogen on that macro play. That's just first dragon for the side of Karate. And it's an ocean this late into the game. I don't think that was a great trade for Karate Kids, honestly.
No, I actually do agree. I think Neogen comes out on top with that. The tower gold plus cracking open those tier twos to allow those waves to get a little further in. That's only going to help Neogen to set up better and better vision. It's going to get them a little closer to ending this game and finding more and more avenues to utilize the strength of their pick comp. I think that it was the right call.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And now you've seen the game states kind of cool down just a tad, waiting for the next round of objectives to come about. Karate Kids trying to get what they can on the map, and Neogen clearing out their respective jungles. I think it's a good time to take a look at the items here and see where everyone's sitting. It looks like Vuso's about to back. He's probably on quite a bit of gold here. Picks up 2 of the Fiendish Codexes. Looking like he's in a pretty solid spot, but I will say one thing. I'll give Papa Doge a little bit of credit. 8-4 on the Mel, 208 farm. He's actually sitting pretty compared to the rest of his team. He might be their only avenue to come back against this really, really giga-fed Neogen squad.
Yeah, not only does he have 3 completed items to Vuso's 2, but he also just bought 2, Phoenix Codexes himself, so he's gonna be extremely strong on that mill right now. Fortunately, though, Paxax is, matching that on the other side with the AD carry matchup. He's got 3 items, Serpent's Fang, one of them included to help cut down and cut through those shields, but he's got the 3 items to only the 2 stacked on this Aphelios. I think that they're going to be looking pretty solid coming into this fight.
And you just saw Vuso put some pain down right there onto that Karma, and they're looking for the fight. Cuddle's trying to find the engage on the side, but he's getting rooted up. He goes Mega, but will it be enough? His team is not quite there yet to follow up. They do find a kill on the back end, and this Kled is trying to charge forward, but he's just stunned up by Band, who is just annihilating him. A great amount of chain CC is just putting the side of Karate Kids in the dirt. Vi flashes forward with a great assault, and that is going to be all she wrote right there for the side of Karate Kids. That fight did not go the way they had hoped.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I was a little worried when Cuddle went in on that engage. That was a pretty tough spot to fight from. The Mel had great range and setup on that. She was able to set up on that outside in the middle of the lane, in the mid lane, and just fire and rain hell from across that structure, that territory right there, going into the blue side jungle. And thankfully, Neogens are just able to sort of outmuscle and outdamage that Mel to clean up the fight sooner.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit scary. Cuddle got a bit overzealous without a lot of the backup from the rest of the team there. But again, he's so far ahead, he was still able to live for long enough to be able to allow him to show up and to turn that fight into a net positive. Mid inhib goes down. Neogen is looking to capitalize now and get some vision control around this Baron and probably try to drive this one home.
Yeah, the Baron is kind of seals the fate. I mean, Baron is exactly what they need on this pick comp. They don't really have the siege, and exactly it. They found the pick, they saw the vision, and they find the Ivor, and it was a big and easy pickup for them. Cuddle is going to go trade with this Aphelios. He's
Ooh.
absolutely massive. He's
Oh.
actually, I think, just going to go in and kill him. He's just going to auto him to death as Mininar. That's literally
I'll be honest, this Ivern is looking more like a little shrub than a big
it.
giant oak. He's been just chopped down so much this game that it's almost it's borderline like cruelty what we're
I feel like
seeing
I'm
right
watching
here.
Solo Queue.
Yeah, I feel like this is something that who am I thinking of here? Greta Thunberg, what's her name? She would like have a major issue watching this happen right now to poor Ivern. The trees, muffins, the trees.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. I mean, Lichbane Cosmic Drive Ivern, where's the Moonstone? Where's the support for this Aphelios? I know they have Karma, but especially once you got behind on the Ivern, just buy the cheap support items and dump them on the Aphelios or the Mel and let them try to live long enough to do the damage. I don't really understand this idea of picking the Ivern and then going for great AP. He even has a Medjai's bot. I mean, is this guy trolling?
I think there's definitely going to be some questions after this game. Maybe he's just this is his troll game. He's allowed to do it, but you're seeing a bit of a fight now take place. There's quite the large engage comes from the Kled, but on the backside, Cuddle gets a pretty good wall up. And they're just cleaning him up. I mean, is there even really any casting necessary here? The damage on the side of Neogen is ridiculous right now. Nice snipe from Vuso to put that Karma down, and I think they're just gonna walk this one right in mid and end the game.
Yeah, she died like a dog. Died like a dog in the streets.
And
It was
Band finds a kill up there against the Aphelios. Oh,
let's
uh-oh.
go, the
They're
solo
chopped.
kill.
No, run, Ivern. Run. There's been too much damage done to the forest right now. We can't let you go 2 and 11. But
The
Band says,
solo
look,
kill.
Band is going for him. You can see it, but the game ends too quick. It ends too quick.
Band director got the
Oh.
solo kill on the Aphelios. I love it. You love to see it. You love to see it. You know, that one was a really fun one. I'll be honest. That was a really fun one. Remy, that's exactly it. Why does Band have 5 kills?
Yeah, that's a good question. Band really put on a little bit of a show there after they got out of that early game slump. I mean, it was a little bit difficult, but they came out of it the victors, Neogen, takes game 1 against Karate Kids.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but that one felt a little silly watching. I mean, look at this Ivern's damage. He's got 9,000 damage. He's got
Oh, man.
the Leona had more damage than the Ivern. I
Y
just don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't mean to sound mean, but I do just hope they pick something a little more serious for the next game so that we have something a little more intense to watch.
yeah, that was just tough, man. I mean, oh god, I think it just all started from level 1. Losing the flash and the ability to try to get an invade and take any of Prophet's camps really just it sets the Ivern on a course that's just not what Ivern wants to do early on, and, I don't know, that was a difficult one to watch. Ugh.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I was watching a solo queue game.
Just
Um,
watching them burn the Amazon, I mean, it was just terrible. I it was
Burn the Amazon. Oh
I know,
no.
that was rough. That was rough.
All
Oh
right, well,
boy.
I am gonna take a quick water break, Poppy, and we're gonna get started at this draft in just a couple of minutes.
Sounds good. We'll be right back. All right. We are back, and it looks like the draft for game 2 is already underway. Neogen is now on the side of blue. Karate Kids has opted for red side after that loss. And you're seeing the first wave of bans that are already starting to come through. Neogen with a very similar strategy here, trying to limit a bit of that mid lane pressure, taking the Anivia off, taking the Victor out of the game, and Karate Kids on the other side, again, quite similar bands as last time. You've seen the Caitlyn is being taken off the board, and we're about to see what they're going to take here. And it looks like they are just going to pull the trigger on Graves. It looked like a little bit of a last minute decision there. Neogen finds the Gwen ban as well coming through
Oh.
on our side. So definitely an interesting set of bands to start off here. Oh, actually, it's going to be the Jin that's picked off by Neogen, and I guess we'll have to wait and see what Karate Kids here is going to take out.
Looks like I got back right on time. Thank you, Poppy, for filling in at the start of the draft there. Yeah, interesting set of bands here. There's a couple of differences. We've got the Graves band instead of the Senna from the side of Karate Kids, and the Jin instead of the Jin Zhao, and it looks like it's because Neogen wants to put the Jin Zhao on Prophet's hands.
I love it. I love seeing Prophet on this pick. He's always showing a lot of early aggression and making big plays to allow the rest of the team to really excel and get ahead. This is a quintessential Prophet jungle pick, especially this season, and I think they've seen some success in it. Really excited to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, I mean, oh, I was just about to say, do you think they go for the Ivern again, or was that just a troll game one? Let's see what happens kind of game. Because Hecarim is certainly the complete opposite of Ivern.
Very much the opposite, but a very, very different vibes coming out here from this jungler on the side of Karate Kids. I mean, Ivern and Hecarim, very off meta in my opinion, especially Ivern more so is quite good into the higher elo, but you don't quite see him other than in pro play. So it obviously wasn't really piloted to the best of his ability, I don't think, last game. Hecarim though, interesting pick. You don't see too much Hecarim here. Being paired up with a Zillion as well could go support, could go mid, but you're going to see a fast horse come running through. Could be a little scary late game once that movement speed gets a little high.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're totally right. And just to reiterate on this Ivern pick, yeah, it's good in the high ranks, but it's because you play it as that enchanter jungler. You get the early lead, you get the early spike on those support items to pump into your carries. But he didn't even play that. He just played Lichbane Cosmic Drive with a Medjai's and was 1-9. That's never going to work. But I do agree, though, that the Hecarim with the Zillion, that's going to be one scary fast horse.
Yeah, yeah, definitely could be quite scary. You see, Neogen has picked up the Ezreal Silas, and it gets answered by a Yorick on the side of Karate Kids. A lot of mobility and a lot of skirmish potential on the side of Neogen. And again, something that seems to be a bit more lane dominant coming up for Karate Kids top laner. The Yorick, trying to find the split push, trying to find that control and win. We'll see what the answer is going to end up being from Cuddle to counter this Yorick. But the second wave of bans is starting to take place.
Does Cuddle have Silas in his champ pool? Is this a top Silas? Could it happen?
Ye I don't think anything is out of the repertoire. I think it could definitely be pulled out. Right now this is that week 7 last game of the season, no holds barred, just go for the gusto, right? So it's very possible that you could see a Silas top. Who knows?
That'd be really interesting. I imagine Silas into York is a pretty good matchup for Silas. Easy way to dash through the York walls. Your passive helps to clear out the little gremlins in one auto attack. I mean, that's a pretty solid matchup if he did go the Silas, and that's kind of why I was saying that'd be a gnarly pickup and an unfortunate almost counter pick for the Yorick into it. We did see that Neogen is going to ban out the Swain and the Lucian. Um, Lucian has been particularly strong in the meta recently. He's been kind of a top 380 carry, especially if you can pilot him well. Super good early aggression to help shut down Neogens early. And then on the other side of Karate Kids, we see a Braum ban. Always a good solid support ban. And then the Aurelia top. I'm not, does Cuddle play Aurelia? Is that a pretty high, like, high importance ban for the Karate Kids?
Yeah, I definitely I think it's in his wheelhouse, but not one that you see him on as much. It's good into Yorick. They just seem to have some pretty big fear against the Irelia there. They end up picking a Vex into the mid lane, and it gets answered back on the side of Neogen by Fiora in the top side. So you're going to see a Fiora Yorick fight. I have a feeling that that's going to definitely be a scale fest and see who comes out ahead. Might be a bit of a difficult lane actually early on for the Fiora, but I think we'll end up outscaling. And look at that. It's a Fiddlesticks. A Fiddlesticks? Where is that going? Is that going to be, is that mid support? Support Fiddle?
Yeah, support fiddle's been one of those kind of off meta support picks recently. Point and click fear with the ult at level 6, though just the base damage on the ult is pretty insane. I think it could be a pretty interesting team fight option for Neogen if band director can find those insanely good flanks to get the Fiddlesticks ult and get that 3, 4, 5 man fear, that's a great way for them to start a team fight. Um, One that I'm a little curious about is the Fiora pickup after the Vex was picked. Um, Picking another champion heavily reliant on dashes into the Vex is just giving the Vex easy passive procs to get those fears frequently in those team fights.
Yeah, but there's only so many fears you're gonna get. I still feel like that the Vex is gonna struggle a bit with how much dive is coming onto it. Vex is good against anti-dive, but it's not as good as one might think. Playing some Vex in the mid lane, I quickly realized that if there's multiple dashes, your passive is only so good.
Yeah, I could see that being the case, right? Like after all, she's still a mage. Yeah, you might get a fear on one part of the dive, but you probably won't block everything. I suppose also the other component here is that Fiora is just such a good pickup into the York for that lane phase. And if Kudo gets ahead and he ends up just splitting the whole game on the Fiora, if the Vex is the one that's going to answer, that's kind of a lot of the team fight of Karate Kids minus the horse running in. Like if the Vex just has to match Fiora, um, that's going to be pretty tough for them. I imagine it will be the Yorick, but hopefully Cuddle's able to beat the Yorick so that he can't match. Um,
Right.
I also am just not realizing Karate Kids don't have an 80 carry. So is this a Zillion bot?
I think this is a Zillion Bard bottom. I was
Shall I
just
turn in
looking
my
at the
badge
same
and
thing, and
rifle as
we're
well?
talking. I'm like, yeah, 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 and I'm like, something just doesn't look right over on the side of Karate Kids, and they are lacking some consistent DPS again now. Not having a carry. Uh, I we'll see how this works out for the Karate Kids. I don't know. I'm a little skeptical on this draft again. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Neogen is really got a pretty strong skirmish draft. A lot of damage, a lot of mobility. If the Hecarim doesn't get big on the side of Karate Kids or Yorick, I guess, what do you really have?
Yeah, I think the lack of consistent AD damage is going to be tough. I mean, I guess the Hecarim, if he gets super ahead, that's a lot of damage in a team fight with the ramped up Q, just kind of running train through Neogen. But that's so heavily reliant on the Hecarim getting ahead and now also building damage so that he doesn't just get blown up. I think they're gonna have a hard time. Like this is a bit silly. As Remy said in chat, she literally said Bard with the crying face. Um,
Yeah, the Bard.
Bard's a look. You're not Carria, okay? Like it's not the same.
Maybe they imported. Maybe this is a sub in. They called Carrie up.
Imported.
They said, "Beep beep beep, Carrie, we need you. The Karate Kids are in need of your support," and he got flown in really quickly,
Oh
and here we are.
God.
So
Not
Think carefully.
it's
carry
possible.
on the Karate Kids.
Carrie has joined the Karate Kids. It's good, good, and they got
We
a 3-year-old in the jungle. No, I'm just kidding. That was rude. I'm sorry. I'll take it back. I'll take it back. I want to
the
see some better play from Karate Kids this time, Muffins. I really want to see the jungler not play Forest Fire Simulator, okay? I want to see something better out of this jungler from Karate Kids. Obviously, I want Neogen to win, but come on, Karate Kids, give us a game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to get distracted by chat. We've got Spaghetti Kids in chat saying that this stream is brought to you by Big Cider. That is in fact not true. We are not sponsored by Big Cider. Um,
We would
Big
accept sponsorship, though. I will say, Big Cider, you can definitely sponsor us.
Definitely reach out. Yeah, definitely reach out. Big Cider and Taco Bell. We'll be
And Red
taking
Bull.
any, yeah, and Red Bull for the Red Bull Baron Power Play. We'll be taking any and all endorsements and ad deals.
Yeah, I mean, really anybody at this point. Just hit us up. You could own a wood shop in the middle of Seattle. I'm cool with it. Sponsor us. Come on.
Oh,
We're bringing we're I don't know. We're bringing
no,
quality content here. This is league.
not
This is
Ivan
some
again.
I'm stuck on this Ivan thing. I'll never be able to let it go. I'm sorry, Muff.
Not the
I'm stuck
Ivan
on it.
again.
I'm stuck on it. That last game was so cataclysmic and just it burned my retinas watching the poor Ivan just die time and time again that I just can't get over these wood metaphors.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Yeah, it was a bit silly. It was a bit silly. I thought the Lich Bane was a little of an overstep, but then when the Medjai's was bought, I just I don't Medjai's at like 1 and 7. That's like some real solo queue stuff.
Those are some cojones muffins. Is that's a cojones play. That's saying, hey, you know something? I know I'm 1 and 7. I'm gonna buy this matches and I'm gonna go 1 and 8, and that was exactly what ended up happening. So it was difficult to watch. It was difficult to watch. I think that Karate Kids has a better chance this game of putting up a bit of a fight. They have a bit more of a comp identity. Um, so I'm excited to see what they're able to do. Neogen again, high skirmish, high mobility, high damage. I think it's really going to be difficult on the side of Karate Kids to find the win con with their low damage kind of linear idea. But we're gonna have to see how it pans out.
Yeah, I mean they kind of need the stars to align here, right? They need Hecarim to get ahead. They need Yorick to stay ahead. If the Yorick can split and stay ahead of the Fiora, that forces a great setup and a great fight for the Karate Kids, right? They have this Hecarim. If he gets ahead, he can run in with his ult. He can fear the Jinzhou. He can fear the Silas. He can fear the Ezreal, setting up some really nice follow-up engage from the Vex from downtown with her ult to follow in that sort of dive big fight engage from the Hecarim, and the speed up from the Zillion just makes it all even easier to do. But that's really contingent on both of those things happening. You need the Hecarim to stay ahead and get ahead, as well as the Yorick, in order for one of those two plans to work. Otherwise, things kind of fall apart because they don't have this 80 carry to fall back on for late game.
Yeah, and what's difficult here too is uh, who do you lock down on the side of Neogen? I mean, Fiddlesticks, I guess, right? The most immobile character on their team. There's not a lot of CC on the side of the Karate Kids, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I see the chat is popping off here, guys. They're
Yeah,
saying we're
what
not ready. This is insane. Just saw this. Y'all aren't ready for it. Um, what are we in for here? I'm a little scared. I mean,
we've got another 30 seconds on the spectator delay, and then we'll be right into the to this game.
yeah,
And apparently, there's going to be some shenanigans coming up for us. So
yeah.
strap in.
It's apparently gonna get worse, is what Paxax is in here already talking. I'm scared. I'm scared. Let's just say their vibe is blue and purple. I have absolutely no idea what that
We're
means.
getting riddles
Uh,
fed to us from Remy here.
riddles. All
I
right.
I think we'll just wait patiently for what's about to happen, and
I'm anxious.
I know, like what's gonna happen here. Well, I didn't know we were in for like this feels like the all-star game of the NFL where it's just like for fun, for shenanigans. These two teams are just the best of the rest, and they're just having a good time.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're about to see something pretty better by a sweeper. I'm teleporting behind you. You're seeing some all chat coming out. Uh-oh. We're definitely going to see some interesting shenanigans. This is definitely going to be quite the game to cast. I'm a little scared, a little excited. I'm not sure what to expect here, Muffins.
Um, can't believe they didn't stream this one. By the way, Bloom Gaming Rose played Yumi mid. I'm not really sure what's happening here, but Yumi mid sounds pretty silly. We've got some.
Oh.
Oh my god, what is this TP on the Zillion? They have 5 TPs.
Oh, there's some light trolling taking place in this game. Um,
I think
uh,
I think we've got a bit of a I don't know if this is a full tilt. Um, or if this is just a team that doesn't care and they joined the league for shenanigans and they didn't get to the finals. I have no idea what is going on.
Yeah, while this is fun and games, it's a little disappointing. I can't lie. You want to see some good competitive league, especially in a league, even if it is the last week, even if you aren't playoff contenders, it's a bit sad to see them going down this road. I think the Karate Kids are on their last leg, is what it looks like to me. But I guess we'll have to wait and see how this ends up playing out. it ends up actually being a Vex into the bot lane here with this Bard. And some hard trading taking place. The Ignite goes down on the side of Ban, trying to get that extra bit of chip damage. Pretty volatile bottom lane already.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still trying to take in everything that has happened thus far. I mean, we have 5 TPs on Karate Kids. They have no AD carry, kind of a troll team. But then we show up to lanes and things look normal. I mean, Vusa's going in on the Zillion
Ooh.
and making it look like it's taking candy from a baby. This is nothing right now. I'm not really sure.
I guess we'll have to let them cook, see how this plays out. An interesting move is really all I can say here. We'll see if the Karate Kids have some secret tech that their sensei taught them. Wax on, wax off, teleport behind, I blow you up kind of deal. I don't know. I don't know, Muffins. I'm struggling here. I'm struggling.
I mean, how many opportunities do you get to like play a real competitive 5v5 game? Like you were saying, like this they didn't make it to the playoffs, but like you're still in a league with people who are there genuinely to try to play hard and play intense and learn league at this higher level, and you're just kind of blowing this chance by trolling. That's not very fun for really anyone.
Unfortunate circumstance, but it looks like they're at least trying to play it out. They might have an interesting strat. Who knows? We'll see how this ends up working out for them. I don't have high hopes. Can't lie. It just seems a little rough as Vuso tries to find another change in the mid lane. That's a first blood for Vuso. Easy kill on the Zillion. He kind of just popped.
Yeah, I think the Zillion just doesn't. I mean, what is the Zillion gonna do? Like his range to throw his bombs to kill the wave and farm is within 2 dashes from Vuso. I think Vuso's just gonna punish the hell out of him.
Yeah, and it's definitely getting pretty volatile towards the top side there. But wait, there's more action in the
Wow,
mid. Vuso
it's a
finds a
great
huge
trade.
chunk. Oh, what a chunk! And some more trading top.
Yeah, a little bit of a wet noodle fight. Um, there's no ignite from either one of the laners here, but Prophet is there. The flash comes out from the York just in time to dodge that lunge. Oh, it doesn't matter. Prophet says, no, I want it. He flashes, hits the W, and he is going to walk out with his life into the bush. Hecarim
Yep,
is
that
on the
Hecarim.
way, though, and it's going to be too late for him.
Oh, yep, the Hecarim finds a return kill on Prophet after that dive, but that was a really nice flash from Prophet to connect the W and find that audacious charge right into that Yorick and secure the kill.
I'm just over here eating some pretzels. Nothing's going on. Like,
It
what
got a
else am I
little
supposed
quiet
to
for a
do?
second. And, you got to cast those quiet moments. We can't let the dead air happen, right? So look at this incredible fight. Hecarim taking on these Krugs. He puts down the smite. Q, 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 Q. Yeah, there you go. That's the hype you have to build for those kinds of moments. Bard finds his way towards the mid lane, looking to help his Zillion get a kill onto Silas. 2 incredibly low damage supports coming to the mid. Great gank. Great gank.
Honestly, I'm kind of expecting, like, are they going to 5-man gank somewhere with these TPs?
It has to happen, right? I mean,
Right,
what
like they
else
hit
what's the
Unleash.
next strat?
They hit Unleash TP, and they just go in, they TP behind, they send the Hecarim in with a Zillion speed up. Bada bing, bada boom. I don't know if it's successful. I don't know if it worked.
It could be some real forbidden jutsu, some shit that's never really seen the light of day that these guys have been practicing more than any other team, or it could just be completely troll. Either way, we're not sure.
Maybe they did get Carria, and he's brought some sort of new strat with him.
Oh, this is what T1 has been working on. All right, guys, if you're watching LCK next week, just get ready. 5 teleports, all right? We're calling it first.
And Hecarim finds Prophet. Doesn't look like there's anything happening. Close call though for Duolingo Owl on the Karate Kids. He's gonna get spotted again by Vuso. Vuso unfortunately out of mana, not able to continue following up on that. But he's playing a little bit on the knife's edge here.
Yeah, but you see Prophet is taking that opportunity to take this dragon towards the bot side, knowing that the Hecarim is nowhere nearby. And this is what I was talking about in the top lane here. It's a little difficult early on against this Yorick for Fiora before she starts getting, really before she has Hydra. The E spam from Yorick and his little ghouls just nipping at your knees. It's terrible. It's terrible to go against, and I really feel for Cuddle in this matchup.
Oh my god. I figured it out, Poppy.
What'd you figure out?
I figured it out. I figured out what the strat is, what the team comp is. Wow, that's an
Ooh.
incredible parry from Cuddle. Whoa, what a parry. Sets up a fantastic last second parry onto the Hecarim ult to block the fear. Hits him with an ult of his own. Gets 2 passive procs and absolutely obliterates the Hecarim under tower. That was insane.
That's got to make you feel bad if you're the Hecarim. He's getting Ivern flashbacks all over again. I'm sure he's twitching uncontrollably in his chair right now. That was a really, really great play from Cuddle to find that amazing riposte. I mean, great timing, awesome mechanics.
That was so surprising. What a phenomenal play to happen in the middle of my my monologue here. But what I was gonna say, I figured out what their team comp is. They've got the like scary emo team, right? They've got the Yorick with his ghouls. They've got the spectral horse. They've got the emo ghosty girl. They're going for the like the scary team.
A really old man who's got nothing left to live for. Yeah, I see it.
And I'm not even sure what Bard is. He's a mystical
space
creature.
cosmos creature man. Yeah, and it all it fits. It fits.
You know, it was a work in progress. It was a thought.
At least we're trying. We're trying to create those plot points for them. You know, where Karate Kids is not. You're seeing some big trade going to the top side, but they can't quite commit and put the kill down. Vex and the Bard are trying to find something on a pack sack bottom, but they lack the damage.
They certainly lack the damage. Vuso, he got a little bit stopped by the cage from the York, and then unfortunately missed his second cast of chains for the CC. Cuddle is just going to take his time getting that Demolish proc and then proxy the lane. We have a great engage from the bot lane. The Fiddle finds the pickup. Paxax hits him with the WQ combo. And they get the double in the bot lane, trading 1-1 for Paxax and Fiddle. But the Hecarim is ready to try to make something of this. He does show up with the Rampage and gets an easy kill back on for the Karate Kids.
Yeah, again, some good action going on towards the bot side there. A really nice ultimate, surprise happy birthday from band director there. Come over the wall there and find the kills. That was really nice. But you also saw in the top side a botched dive from Cuddle. He went a little too deep, and the Yorick ended up taking it. But look at this, a TP behind might find Yorick in a similar position. He's just trying to get these plates. He says, you know what, I'm gonna die regardless. Let me just get some kind of goal.
Yep, and Prophet finds an engage on the Hecarim, trying to invade his jungle. Got a little too hasty with that one. They find an easy kill on the Hecarim, and that's right before Grubs are about to come up and set up another objective.
This game's just got me all out of whack. I can't lie, Muffin's just I don't know what the side of Karate Kids is really going for. They haven't utilized this 5 TP strategy, the new T1 carry strategy. Wait, maybe they did. That's a Hecarim that shows up in the top lane and absolutely cuts Cuttlebun down. I was not ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, what do you don't even know who's TPing anymore. He probably thought it was the York. They'd spawned at a similar time. Or backed, at least the York had backed and the Hecarim had died. I mean, you don't even know who's coming, and then you find out that it's the scary fast horse, and there's not much you can do about that.
Yeah, I caster cursed that one a little bit. I was like, oh, they haven't done anything with these TPs, and well, I ate my words. And now you're actually seeing the Zillion over here. He's putting a little bit of punishment down on Navuso, but he's just got to run away at the end of the day.
Paxax is getting pretty fed, though. He's 1-1. Actually, really the bot lane in general. We've got 1-1 on the Ezreal. He's pretty close to finishing his Triforce. He's stacking up that tier. We have Prophet finding a pick on the Hecarim again. And that's just going to set him up for an easy dragon take.
Yeah, Prophet's looking really nice right now in this game. 3-1 currently. He's got a lot of control. He's already got his Titanic Hydra. A lot of damage coming out of this Xin Zhao. Really got to be careful on the side of Karate Kids when you see him step into the ring.
You know, I just realized that Vuso has his ult to steal the Oracle. That just gives him an extra tool for this split push. He's got his own maiden down in mid lane right now, helping him to push into the Zillion even faster so that he can punish the Zillion even harder. It's a really interesting play, and we have another happy birthday in the bot lane. Unfortunately, the birthday was cut short, face right in the cake.
Murdered on his birthday. He wasn't able to find it, but Paxax is trying to look to get a return kill here, putting some damage down onto the Bard. A lot of big Qs. That's a definite kill there coming over for Paxax. Kind of makes that botched happy birthday a little bit better.
Yeah, Cuddle's going to trade another kill in the top lane too. This is really strong. I mean, the people like that need to be strong right now are all strong. Cuddle's 3-2. He's getting plates. Prophet is 4-2. He's got an item finished. Paxax has got 40 CS lead on the Vex and is certainly going to have his Triforce finish now. They're looking really strong. He's actually going to pick up another kill onto the feeding Hecarim.
I'm getting Ivern flashbacks again, Muffins. It came to me in that a vision from the last game showed itself to me in that play right there, and I didn't like it. I didn't like what I saw.
Yeah, he's got 5 deaths again. Like this guy, he's just kind of running it down. Oh, I really thought that one was gonna get the pick.
Yeah, that true shot
Very, very
barrage coming out from Ezreal there does a good bit of damage, and if it had that Mira mana, it might have actually popped him in one shot right there, killed that Zillion, but a lot of damage came down. Vex trying to get out of there before the impending doom of Prophet walking in. A smart move on the side of Zodiac to get out of there before Prophet showed up.
Seeing some really interesting all chat right now. York saying if y'all don't run it down, I'm gonna spoil Part 7 JoJo before anime comes out. I'm not really sure how important Part 7 of JoJo is, but it sounds like it could be important to some people. Karate Kids might be a little bit tilted.
It's possible, yeah. I mean, you know, I'm glad. I hope he doesn't spoil it. JoJo is my entire life. If they spoil that for me, I don't know if I can continue.
I'm not sure.
You'll miss me on the next cast, chat. That might be it for me if JoJo gets spoiled. And Hecarim doing his usual. He's a little light inting running through the bottom side jungle. And that's going to be another easy kill picked up. 6 kills. How many deaths? Let's take bets now, everybody in the chat. How many deaths is Hecarim going to rack up this game? Are we over or under 10? What are you thinking here?
I think we could be over 10. I would put my money on over 10. Spaghetti Kids chiming in saying, is this Mojo Jojo that you were talking about? I think it's, it could be.
Could be. I hope so. Mojo Jojo's pretty rad.
We've got Spaghetti Kids chiming in with at least one more death. I definitely think at least one more for sure.
I think I'm gonna aim for 12. I'm gonna aim for 12 deaths by the end of this game. I'm going on the high end of things here. By seeing the play, I've got data, aggregate data that I took from last game, and I can tell you right now that I don't think 12 deaths is anywhere out of the equation.
I've got aggregate data. I love it. I love it, Poppy. I hope one day soon we will have that kind of access. That'd be sick.
I do. I saw with my own 2 eyes, Muffins. The data's there. I don't need actual numbers when I saw what I saw last game. And Cuddle just kind of cut him up.
Yeah, Cuddle's he's got 2 items to the 1. He's killing him with his ult. I mean, Prophet walking in on the backside of this Hecarim. I'm like almost confused as to how to cast this. I feel like I'm having my own trauma response to solo queue right now.
Yeah, this is a difficult one. I mean, Karate Kids, they've lost all hope. It's gonna be a dark, dark time in their lives. I think. All I can say is there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, Karate Kids. You don't have to do this. Remember, there are people out there that love and care about you. It's okay.
I love the messaging. That's what you guys get here in Neogen Esports. You get the broad range of emotion that you want from your casters, the broad range of emotion you want from your games. You want silly, you want lighthearted, you want caring, you want excitement. And that's what we have here at Neogen Esports. So go down in the links below. Give us a follow and a subscribe on YouTube. Go to that TikTok. We're going to be starting to post VODs of the streams. If you miss one, you can catch it later on. Come hang out with us. Hello to past versions of yourselves. And
You don't want to miss this one. You
yeah,
definitely don't want to miss this one. I mean, there's some high-level gameplay going on here right now. It's incredible to see.
so continue to follow, continue to interact. We're going to have some great content coming your guys' way. I'm just happy that we've got another league coming up after this in a couple of weeks. I think the boys have really made some big progress, and the 2 weeks off will be nice for them. I think that we're going to have a really solid season for this summer league in Titan.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see. Like you said, there's definitely been a lot of improvement made over the time here in Blue Otter. It started out a bit rocky, had some trouble finding a bit of an identity, but they started to really gel towards the back half of this league, and I think it could be really exciting to see how far we can go into Titan. And I mean, I know we're not really even casting the game going on now. It's so difficult to watch. I mean,
Look at
Uso
Musa.
gets a
Like
chain, killed the Bard.
The mid gap is just massive. A team gap is massive. We're not trying to be biased here. We know that we cast for Neogen Esports, but you guys can see the score. You can see the numbers. We've got bounties on everybody, but band director on the fiddlesticks, and I'm sure he would if he had the opportunity to.
Yeah, if he was on Leona again, he'd probably have pentakill by now. But
He'd probably be dead killed by now.
But alas, yeah, this is difficult. We want to try to give, everybody a fair chance here at Neogen. The opponents make the game, but this has been rough. The Ivern trauma, as Remy put it in the chat, it's real. It's still kicking really hard this game. This new 5 teleport carrier strategy. It's just not it.
Carrier strat. I don't think it's it either. Because, right, you think, you could call it a carrier strat. Carrier likes some silliness from time to time. He likes to play something a little silly and make you work for it and not know what to expect. But not knowing what to expect when it's the opponent team not knowing what to expect, great idea. If your own teammates don't know what to expect with your picks, that's where you've really gone wrong. I mean, just really gone wrong. And I think that the enemy team here, Karate Kids, they don't even seem to know what's happening.
Yeah, like I said, whoever their sensei is who gave them this forbidden tech and really, taught them these ways, they need to have some really strong words with him, because this does seem like a wax on, wax off situation where they probably learned how to do basic algebra, but they didn't even play any league. It's kind of what I'm feeling is it took place here. It's very difficult to watch. And now you're just seeing Neogen inside the base, Cuddle going on a rampage, killing everybody. Double kill. Can he make it a triple? Make it a triple kill.
Does he get the penta?
He won't get it. He won't get the penta. They're not going to be that nice and give it to him. But this game is just a wrap. They're going to push it right down, 25-7 at 21 minutes. Look at the gold lead, Muffins. It's 13K right now. 13K.
We've got some massive Neogen hype in the chat. Neogen, a true display of the human condition. We've got the best players and the best announcers. Karate Kids, more like the Karate Clowns. Absolutely spaghetti kids. I freaking love the hype in the chat. Let's give it up for the boys, getting the final win, going 3-4, making the best that they could out of a sticky situation in Blue Water League. What a phenomenal season. What a phenomenal last match. Um, I just can't believe that we've got 2 weeks off and that we've got to wait 2 weeks to watch these guys play again.
Yeah, take some time. There might be some scrims in between that we are going to be able to cast. So, keep those, excuse me, keep those notifications handy. Neogen content will be coming at you. Titan League coming up in a couple weeks, like Muffin said. Something awesome to look forward to. And we're going to see some high quality games to kick off that season. But everybody here at Neogen Esports thanks all of the viewers. Muffins, thank you for joining me tonight. It's been a real pleasure.
Absolutely, Poppy. Thanks again. And thanks to the boys for a good game. And thanks to everybody here on the chat and in the Neogen admin community for putting this all together and allowing us to have this opportunity to get in here, cast some league, get everybody hype, and share some fun watching a great game. Poppy, you want to send them off?
And to that, until next time, we will see you all soon. Have a great night. Neogen out.